We're Dr. Gary and Barb Rossberg, America's Family Coaches, and we are here to say thank you.
We certainly are. Thank you so much for equipping America's Family Coaches so that we could take your message of relationship restoration and strengthening truly around the world to serve many different groups this year. Thank you.
Yes, and folks, the people that are viewing this video likely are people that have donated to our ministry, and that may be a monthly gift. It may be what in some people's eyes would be a small gift. To us, every gift is very, very strategic and important. To people who give very large gifts, or churches, or businesses, corporations, family foundations. Some of you have been with us for years, and we say thank you, thank you, thank you. Others are new, and we ask you to stick with us now that we're into 2017, because some exciting stuff is coming. But today we're just going to look back. We just, we don't do that much, Barb.
Well, we do when we get to the end of the year, and we are truly thanking our blessings because as we have the privilege to impact so many people and so many lives, and it does start with couples, and we want to begin with a ministry we call Honoring America's Heroes, because Gary, we have the privilege of working with 19 wounded couples, and when you work with couples, when you impact the marriage, so goes the family. And so we're getting a multi-generational teaching impact when we have the opportunity to serve these couples, do an event, and I'd love for Gary, you to tell more about it.
Well, many of you know 11 years ago we started helping military marriages and have distributed, I think it's $574,000 worth of resources. We waive royalties to all that, so we get no income ourselves personally, and have helped them all over the world, really, in 4 of the 5 branches, all but the Coast Guard. And that's been an incredibly humbling opportunity as people that are very proud of our country to get to serve those that have served us. Over the last 4 years or so, we began kind of converging this a little bit with helping those that have been wounded through some other organizations, national organizations, where we were the marriage coaches for them. And then a couple of years ago founded something, as Barb said, called Honoring America's Heroes. And we have cherry-picked 19 couples. And many of them we knew, some we didn't. Over half of them are special forces. We have 2 Gold Star wives in that group whose husbands were killed in Afghanistan, and they're now in subsequent relationships. And we have gathered these people. We had our initial marriage getaway in April of 2016 in Austin, Texas. We're headed back to the Dallas area in April of 2017. And this group has gelled, Barb, into a community. I mean, they're Facebooking. We're doing webinars with them. They pray for each other when one of them, reaches out that they're in pain or they're struggling or there's an illness or a conflict or PTSD issue or whatever is going on. Man, within minutes sometimes, 5, 6, 7, 8 families have jumped on to say, you're not alone, we're with you, we're going to get to the other side. So many of you have invested in honoring America's heroes, and you're going to hear about some unbelievably great opportunities in 2017 where that message is going to be carried into even further places. But thank you. And those 19 couples, if they were in the room, Barb, I think they'd say thank you as well.
Oh, I'm certain they would. So it begins with a marriage event, a conference, and we will take a couple of days and pour into them and allow them as a couple to truly connect and give them the skill set to break through in marital communication. Don't we all need that?
Yeah.
Of course we do. We teach them, we allow them to practice, they learn the power of forgiving, starting over, out-serving one another. These are people that are strong in character, that have experienced more of life than most of us will ever have to go through.
Yeah.
They are truly our heroes, and on their behalf we say thank you.
Yeah.
Very, very worthy.
Yeah, we sure do. And keep in mind, I mean, these are single and double amputees and brain injury and burn victims, all sorts of different physical maladies. But I tell you, they are terrific people that they push right through that pain, even if they've had 30, 40 surgeries, and just love well. And we sure love them. We've cracked the code with them. We're sticking with them. Barb, beyond that, I get to do something that I've done every Wednesday, essentially, if I'm in town, since 1989.
And probably some of you are a part of this, and it's the Cross Trainer Men's Group. And what a wonderful group of men you get to speak to.
Well, it is, Barb, and it started, my accountability group started in 1979 with 4 of us, and then in 1989 we began inviting others. Barb made muffins. We did a 12-week trial group. I tried to end it, and they said, Gary, we don't care if you come back, but we want Barb to keep making muffins. And that was the birth of Cross Trainers. And I mean, a couple days ago I taught it, and these guys will gather, and they are oak trees of righteousness. And I tell you, I'm loving that group more and more every month, and certainly every year. And these are men that are living life well and wanting to finish strong. And so I have the privilege of leading a speaking team. There are 6 or 7 of us that share that opportunity. But we teach them how to be godly men and husbands and fathers and grandfathers now. And I really just try to impact them as godly men in our community where we live in Des Moines, Iowa. So Cross Trainers is a big part of my week. And, you know, Barb, sometimes you'll run into a woman in a mall or a restaurant and she'll say, it must be Wednesday because my husband is acting nice today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Am I nicer on Wednesday?
You are.
Yeah, I'm exhausted, but maybe I'm nicer. But and then Barb, wow, I'm going to just back away as you talk about
Well, the
the
privilege.
incredible work of Jewelry of the Soul.
Yes, Jewelry of the Soul is something very, very special that truly God has equipped us with, and we're excited about 2017 to see what He does. But on one of our adventures to South Africa, we go to South Africa every year, and we help the organization Focus on the Family Africa raise money for their organization. And so when you help send us to South Africa, and we will spend a month there doing community events, couple date nights, we are teaching our marriage principles in different communities. And then we also work with women, Zulu women that are caregivers to double orphan children, which means they have no mother or fathers, and many of them live on the street. And they get a meal a day, and these caregiving women are the women of the village, and they are teaching the children, passing on character. They are truly, they are the leaders. And so one of the many things that we get to do, not only to help fundraise with Focus on the Family Africa, and with that money that is raised, they also educate, and they have so many excellent programs that help marriages and children and educate children. And the caregiving women is now part of it too. But we also have a necklace that I am wearing today that we've designed to help teach these 6 principles that we teach in the marriage events, in these couple date night events. And we gift them to the Zulu women, and we will give them a half-a-day seminar, and it's just beautiful, and it's so fun, and they're so excited. And they will dress up in their native Zulu attire, and they will sing, and they will dance, and talk about appreciation. It is unbelievable. They have taught us how to say thank you. They literally raise the roof. If there is a roof, they raise it. And we're very, very grateful. Part of our ministry is we usually hand carry, and our daughter makes every one of the necklaces. We will take around 200 necklaces over and gift them as a mechanism to tell the story. And the story is so very meaningful. It's all based on biblical principles that are life-changing. And when you stand on the Word of God and you teach those principles and you apply them and you choose to press in and work them out in your life, it's life-changing. So we teach the women, and then they tell their stories to one another. They wear these necklaces, they teach the children, and then throughout the year, though many of them don't even have beds to sleep in, and sometimes they don't have roofs over their heads, they do have cell phones. And so they call it SMSing, we call it texting. And so once a week we send a text message over. I write a text message on one of those beautiful 6 secrets that we're teaching: forgiving, serving, persevering, guarding, joy, and certainly celebrating, boundaries, having boundaries in our lives. and reminding them who Jesus is, and exploding with the joy that when we allow God to empower us, it not only changes our life, but it changes the world in which we live. And so our necklace, our jewelry of the soul, is something that I'm very, very excited about, and that you will hear more about in this year of 2017.
Yeah, and Barb, I know, you may feel awkward about this, but you are a rock star in South Africa. I mean, and I think there are 700 necklaces that have been made, and probably 600 of those have been distributed in South Africa. But we pull up. They call me Kulu, which is grandfather, and I kind of stay away, and I just take video and pictures and cry because I get to watch my wife use her incredible gift of encouragement and love, and she hugs and prays and just gifts them, and I see her feeding them, and Barb, those buses will pull up, or cabs, and many of those women will run to you.
Well, they're beautiful, and I run to them because they're my friends.
Yeah, and you keep coming back.
And we do, and
Yeah.
we're so blessed. But what's amazing is, why is it we have to go to South Africa? In order for us to see such beauty in the simplicity
Yeah.
of virtually people that have little to nothing.
Yeah.
But their joy and their gratefulness is so great. And what it does, it impacts us that all we have to do is turn into our home and our own backyard and live it out.
Yeah.
Folks, we don't need much. But what we do need is the power of love. When we love one another and when we walk in unity, and what the Bible teaches is to walk in the unity of the power of Christ Jesus. And so when we can bring that home and even share the story of how to do it through the power of a storytelling necklace, or you'll hear more about our jewelry of the soul, I Hold Your Heart bracelet. So again, we have some fun things coming out in 2017.
We really do. And you're going to
Thank you.
Well,
thank you. Thank you. Because of you and because of your gifting, we're just telling you the joy that the people that we have truly touched, their impact, we want to give it back to you. We are so very grateful, Gary.
Well, and as Barb said, in 2017, you'll hear not only about the I Hold Your Heart bracelet, but more about the ambassador program, because many of you as women are saying, man, Barb, I love this, and I love supporting Barb to do it.
Now you go do it.
Yeah, but
you can take
go
it
do
out. Yes, absolutely. We'll talk more about that.
Yeah,
but
we
let's,
sure will.
Let's say
It's
our
been
thank
awesome.
yous.
It's been awesome.
We've got many thank yous.
Well, and then we have a lot of, so now we're going from maybe the smaller into the larger. We spoke before 19,400 people in this past year, in 2016. And that's remarkable, Barb. So on platforms, live events, through date night, we were unable to go to South Africa this year, so we did some live streaming, and they still had date nights even though we weren't there, but we shot a video just before and sent it to them, so it's almost real time. That's been remarkable. We also do podcasting and radio, and over 147,000 people were benefited, we believe, and thank you for that. By listening to those podcasts, those radio programs, Barb, we wrapped up 22 years of radio.
22 years in the lifetime of radio is like dog years.
Yeah.
So, really, we did it, and we're so excited. But God's got new stuff for us.
Yeah, and you're going to be hearing more about that.
And we are excited because for you that are younger and you're wondering what's next, well, guess what? God's always turning it up, changing it up. It's exciting. And that's the neat thing about being a Christian and a follower, is that we can trust God to take us into something brand new and show us even the better work. So we're excited.
Yeah, we are. I think 84,000 people were impacted through email coaching, and that's using the technology that we have available. And then, Barb, through social media, about 9,000 people have been impacted through 2016. And we have a whole team behind us that drives that. So we may write a Twitter or Facebook or Instagram or something, but we've got a whole team that are cranking those babies out. So the figures are, Barb, over 259,000 people were impacted through your donations in 2016 through America's Family Coaches.
Thank you.
So as we have partnered with you and we have partnered
Together
with the Lord and the kingdom in order to make this impact. And then one other area that we just don't talk much about, but we write a column every month for Home Life magazine, and they have 2.3 million annual readers. And so that is in magazines all across the country. And so questions come in, we respond to them, and then we're shooting little mini videos now called house calls, and that's going to be a big part of 2017 right here in this studio, this podcasting or bodcasting, they're calling it. And we're going to be sending out videos. So we want to make sure you go to our website and sign up for those, and go through Facebook perhaps, and we get those to you as well. So our intent was to just say thank you. You know, I've called some of you, and we've talked to some of you in person. We've sent letters, but we wanted you to just be able to see us and hear our voice and see the gratitude in our spirit. We are thankful.
Yes, we are.
And God's at work, and America's Family Coaches is going strong, and we're going strong. 41 years of marriage.
That's right.
And so we are very, very grateful. We love you all. Thank you
Thank you
so much for supporting America's Family Coaches.